Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Bayou Time. I'm Martin Folse, joined once again by the Houma Police Chief, Chief Travis Theriot, and good to see you, Chief.
Thank you. Nice to
And
be
also
here.
Sergeant Neil Abbott, who is once again Houma Police Department Special Operations. And certainly, when I was looking over some of the things y'all confiscated in this drug bust, it's pretty impressive, y'all. Quite a few things, but I'll give you the floor. This was pretty big and also, I'm sure, pretty dangerous.
Yes, yeah. So July 13th, which was last Friday, early hours, our SWAT team, our narcotics division, our detective bureau, in conjunction with the assistance from Louisiana State Police and the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Department, closed in on a house at the 300 block, I believe, of Petrie Street. And I'm sorry, 200 block of Petrie Street. And they confiscated a large quantity of narcotics, firearms, cash, and it had been about a month-long investigation. They recovered over 178.32 grams of heroin and fentanyl, 121 grams of marijuana, 40 grams of methamphetamine, some hydrocodone pills, over $1,000 in cash, and some numerous firearms to go along with it. And those arrested were Crystal Vauclin, Billy Zarang, and Gary Paul Vauclin. But man, I tell you what, the work that was done by our narcotics division, we're really happy with, and hopefully that'll make a difference back there in that neighborhood.
Now, let me ask you something before I get to Sergeant Neil Abbott. When you're going in, there's that amount of heroin and fentanyl around. That's pretty dangerous for the officers, too.
Yes, it is. And look, recently, or not recently, but we've always kept Narcan on hand. Well, now, anytime we're doing a search warrant, before leaving, we make sure that each SWAT operator has Narcan on their person, just in case. Because you never know what can happen.
All you got to do is inhale a little bit of that, and that's where it becomes dangerous.
Right. And I'd have to lean on Sergeant Abbott for the medical side of things because he's a little more versed on it. But, safety is what is first for our officers, always.
Right. So let's turn to Sergeant Abbott. This is it's a big arrest by all accounts, and I'm sure, like we talked about, quite dangerous. You got to sort of tread lightly but strongly, but you never know what you're getting into when you go into these situations, do you?
Correct, Martin. So in the last year, all of the narcotics that we take off the street, we send to the crime lab. In the last year, over 60% of it is coming back straight fentanyl, but it's being sold to users as heroin. Mm-hmm. But when they break it down molecularly and test it, it's coming back straight fentanyl, which is causing all the overdoses. So when we go into these operations, we already have it in the back of our mind that we're dealing with fentanyl. We'll put it up front. We know it. We take the precautionary steps that we can in order to try and make our jobs a little safer, even though we're going into unknown to deal with it.
Yeah. Let me ask you something, Sergeant. Was this something y'all got a tip on, or were y'all suspecting this for a while? How do these things normally take place? And then, of course, when you put it all together, I know there's a lot of preparation that goes into it.
So we got multiple ways. Under Chief Coleman, he allowed me to do a Facebook page for the Houma Police Department Narcotics Division. And all we use that is for tips. Nothing's posted on it, but you can log in, send an anonymous tip. Everything is anonymous. We have people that call in to the police department and leave messages for our division anonymously, and they send it to us and we work it that way. Some of the information that we do gather comes from street jumps or traffic stops, where we make traffic stops. They have the dope on them and we go backwards. We work it backwards to try and find out where it's coming from.
And Chief, obviously, I know you well enough that if something's working, you don't have to go in when you're appointed chief and fix it. You just keep going with it.
That's right. And, you know, a lot of times you'll get people that'll call in to administration or they'll go and complain to different people within government that they've complained to us about the narcotics and we're not doing anything. Well, a lot of times we'll just take that on the chin because we can't really tell them for the safety of our officers what we are doing with narcotics investigations. So when we have people that make complaints about narcotics, we do take it serious and we are investigating it, but we're not going to reveal exactly what's going on. Safety issues.
Yeah, no doubt. With about a minute left, let's bring the picture back up if we can, Jason. There you go. 178.32 grams of heroin and fentanyl. Once again, 121.86 grams of marijuana, approximately 40.65 grams of methamphetamine, small amount of hydrocodone pills, over $1,000 in cash, and numerous firearms to go with it. And once again, like the chief said, Crystal Vauclin, 28 years old. There you see her right there. Billy Zarang, 35 years of age. And Gary Paul Vauclin, 28 years old, were arrested by Houma police. Chief, Sergeant, thank you all so much, not only for being here, but for the work you all do. We appreciate getting that off the street. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back. We have a lot more, including some promotions at the Houma Police Department. Don't go away. Learn who they are.